for people to understand when you fool around with drugs, it's not just Elvis Presley, Anna Nicole and Daniel Smith, Heath Ledger and Michael Jackson. It's the guy that lives next door to you. It's the person that you bowl with or that you work with. And these people are dying from acute combined drug toxicity every day somewhere in America.
Yes, Sarah, there was just a report that came out on the number of young people now dying of prescription overdose medicines that are found right in their families' cabinets. But I want to point to our audience, the motorcade now is moving in motion. You can see there with your own eyes 30 cars of the motorcade carrying the Jackson family and all of those who attended this private ceremony. I'm assuming that one of the vehicles you're looking at, this hearse, is carrying the casket of Michael Jackson. We've been able to confirm that the casket will be at the Staples Center. And I say casket because it is not clear if Michael Jackson's remains will actually be in there. So we have to be careful with our language in painting the story of what is happening here. But I want to bring in Dan Abrams because, Dan, when Michael Jackson passed away, there was a family friend who flat out said, if you think the Anna Nicole investigation blew the water off of these Dr. Feelgoods, wait until you hear and see what was happening to Michael Jackson. Do you think there will be people charged here?
I think there probably will be people charged. I don't think that anyone will be charged with homicide, for example, but I do think that people will be charged for prescribing drugs that they shouldn't have prescribed because of exactly what Dr. Wecht was saying. There are certain drugs here where it's almost impossible to figure out why he would have had that drug in his home. And if someone prescribed him that drug, I think that doctor is going to be in a lot of trouble. With that said, though, remember that let's even assume for a moment that Michael Jackson's death is related in part to some sort of drug use. That does not necessarily mean that it was the doctor's fault, meaning there are people who overdose on legally prescribed drugs every day. Again, we don't know that that was the cause. We don't know that that was related. But when we talk about the possible legal ramifications here, we have to remember that the cause and effect is not the only question. The other question is, when you're talking about the legal side of this, was it an authorized prescription? Why did the doctor prescribe that? But look, the last person you want to be right now is one of Michael Jackson's doctors. Not only are they going to be investigating those doctors in connection with this case, they're going to go back and look at the history with regard to these doctors. So even if there's a doctor who ends up having a totally clean bill here, this is going to be a very, very significant administrative issue for the doctors. They're going to have to do a lot of accounting on a lot of prescriptions beyond Michael Jackson.
Let's bring in NBC's Mike Taibbi, who's covering this story in Los Angeles. And Mike, again, as we see the motorcade rolling now from the Forest Lawn Cemetery grounds in the Hollywood Hills towards the Staples Center downtown, I wonder if we could just sort of pick up on what Dan and Cyril Wecht were talking about, the aspect of the investigation. How much do you sense the sort of the unknown? Why did he die? Who might have been responsible? Who might have enabled a possible overdose if that's the case? How much do you sense that sort of hangs in the air among the people where you are?
Oh, I think it's clearly in the air. I've spoken